hello, hello. This looks good.
What is it, Henry? Why, Henry, it's a marvellous car for the money. Couldn't we get one?
Oh, I'm not sure we can afford it.
But it's so cheap for a car like that.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, go in and have a look at it anyway. You're not forced to buy if you don't like it, are you?
All right, all right. I suppose you will have to have it your own way. May I have another cup of tea? Can you direct me to the local Ford dealers, please?
Never heard of them, sir.
Oh, is there a big garage around here?
Well, you might try Sinclair's up in North Street.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. May I have the catalogue of the new Ford 10, please?
Oh, yes, there should be one here somewhere. Oh, here we are.
But this is the old one. I've seen this. I'm interested in the new Ford 10 that's advertised in the Echo today.
Ah, so it is. Good. Well, there should be one here somewhere.
Morning. Good morning.
There you are, sir.
Oh, yes, this is the right one this time. Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Sinclair.
Morning.
I'm Harding, Ford Motor Company Advertising Department.
What can I do for you?
Well, perhaps I can do something for you. You never know. It's my job to pass on ideas. Have you seen one of the standard racks for sales literature? Just the thing for keeping it neat and tidy.
I don't see it makes any difference whether I keep on a rack or a table.
Well, I'll soon show you if it makes any difference. I've got one in my van. Well, this chap was specially designed for Ford dealers' showrooms. The shelves are adjustable to the correct height for Ford literature. You probably know it's produced to a range of standard sizes. So you see there's no difficulty in finding any particular bit of literature your customer wants. No need to root around a pile of stuff like that. And it does away with running boards as tables. Besides which, it's really a salesman without salary. That's why we suggest that it is placed near enough the window so that people can see the literature. And once you get folks studying catalogues, you've made another step towards a sale. Now, you can keep your reserve supplies on these handy shelves at the back here. See? So that it's easy to review your stocks when you fill in the requisition form each month.
Well, an idea. I'll think about getting one when business picks up a bit.
Oh, there's no need to wait. There's a cheaper model and it's quite a neat affair. I see you use a rubber stamp for your name and address. Rather an untidy way.
Yes, that one slipped a bit.
Well, here's a little idea that you'll find much more convenient. Special labels are made for Ford literature. Looks better, don't you think?
Looks all right.
They're quite cheap, too.
Yes, I'll think about getting some when business gets better.
Now, how is business?
Not too good. Hardly a decent inquiry this week.
Well, what about that chap that just came in? He seemed quite interested.
Oh, him. We get 20 or 30 like him every week. They're not interested in buying cars. They just want the catalogue so their kids can cut out the pictures.
I shouldn't be so sure. It's often worthwhile following up a chap like that. You never know. Now, if you had his name and address...
Not a bit of good. I know the type.
Well, you could give him a call just to find out, and then you could add his name to your mailing list. You've got a mailing list, of course.
Yes, in the office.
Do you mind if I have a look at it?
No, come in. Should be somewhere here. I saw it last week. Here you are. A few more names to be added to it. I haven't had time to do it. I find I can keep them in my head anyway.
Well, this is really a list of prospects, or shall I say was a list of prospects. You see, when names are finished as live prospects, they should be put on the mailing list. That gives you a chance of keeping in touch between personal calls. By the way, what's your car contract?
300.
Well, in that case, 3,000 names is about right. We reckon 10 names to every unit of your contract is a minimum. But dealers who use the post regularly usually have more.
Where do you suppose I'm going to get 3,000 names?
Oh, they'll come if you get used to keeping them methodically. Have you had a look at the prospect handbook we sent you?
Haven't a chance of looking at stuff like that.
Well, 5 minutes will show you how simple it is. I've got a cabinet outside. Now, this is what we call a prospect card. You fill it in whenever anyone calls, like that chap this morning, and then put it in the prospect file, ready for you or one of your salesmen to follow up. If he doesn't want a car, but looks like being a possible later on, note this on the card and add his name to your mailing list. Then to build the list, you can get owners' names from your ledger. Local traders, as a rule, are interested in the 500-weight band. You can put them down, and you can get the names of a good many professional men from your local directory. But the best ones are those you know from personal knowledge. There's a score of ways of making up a list. And when you have the names, you can see it's quite simple. Everything is worked out ready, and all you've got to do is to fill in the particulars. The best way is to select some names and get your salesman to call at the addresses first. In that way, you'll get a good list, and periodic calls ensure that the list is kept up to date. It's better to have a few good names than a lot of dud ones.
I've never found that kind of advertising any good. People just tear up circulars if you send them out. Might as well save the postage.
Well, that isn't everyone's experience. Luff from over at Bettersbury told me that he makes dozens of sales by keeping in touch with people by direct mail. I've drafted quite a number of sales letters for him to send out with the folders the company provides. He does his job well and keeps the list up to date. That's why he gets such good results.
He may do. I can't. My territory, you see. It's different.
Well, perhaps it depends on what you send out. This Ford mailing stuff's very attractive, you know. I don't think you'll find people will throw that away. And they're made to fit stock envelopes. What's this? Anything important?
Oh, yes. That's a fellow I got a call on. He wants a new V8. Good job you noticed it.
Look better on a card than a file, wouldn't it? 16th, I think you said.
That's right. Why?
Well, just wondering which calendar you were going by.
They are, you see. I just haven't had time to order them. And you talk about filing cabinets and cards and things. Let me see, the 16th is...
Was yesterday, I'm afraid.
So it was. I better give him a ring. Excuse me a minute.
Doesn't look very attractive somehow, does it?
You're as bad as my wife. She's always on me to spruce it up a bit.
Well, she may be right.
Well, I had the whole place painted only 12 months ago.
Oh, it isn't the paint that matters, that's all right. There are lots of other things that you could do quite easily.
That's all very well. Improvements cost money.
Well, mine needn't. A little imagination is all it wants. Well, it wouldn't be a bad idea, for instance, to put the Ford sign where it could be seen. That doesn't cost any money.
A little imagination and a lot of money.
Not a bit of it. It wouldn't cost a £10 note to double the attractiveness of your place.
All right, let's see you try it. I'll stand your lunch at the George if you do. By George, I will.
I'll keep you to that. Well, we could make a change there. If we could get rid of those posters, it'd give people a chance to see what you've got to sell. It'd look better, wouldn't it?
Look a bit naked, if you ask me.
Oh, well, that can soon be remedied. All it wants is a feature poster. And by the way, the Ford script is very badly done. Those signwriter fellows are all alike. They never get it right. That's why we've issued a sheet showing how to copy the right one. You see, we're very proud of that script, and we spent a lot of money in getting people to know it. Car looks as if it could do with a polish. Inside wants brushing out. Funny how mechanics always leave things about, isn't it? Those marks on the windscreen don't look too good, do they? Factory marks. I expect your men forgot to clean them off. Do you make one of your fellows responsible for keeping the showroom neat and tidy?
No, I do that myself.
Then who cleans the cars? Suppose we get him along and I'll give him 1 or 2 tips.
Well, any of the garage boys do that.
Well, if you put one man on the job, I think you'd find it better. Make him feel that he had an interest in it. And a neatly priced letter card instead of this one make a difference too. And while your man's cleaning the car, ask him to have a go at the running boards and the wheels. They badly want a little blacking. Oh, and here's a neat idea for displaying accessories I saw at the Bounty Garage, Gloucester. They look better that way, don't they?
Very nice.
And now for a poster.
I thought you said you didn't want posters on the window. Make up your mind.
I don't want them on the window. I want them in the window. See the idea? People stop to look at the car, and there are the features of it explained for them. Another silent salesman.
What about all the other models? You don't want people to see them, I suppose.
There's the 30. There's its features. And another thing, don't have too many posters on the walls. It's much better to frame 1 or 2 and keep them changed regularly. The frame only costs a couple of shillings, and it's a neat way of doing the job. And you can have as many as you like at the price. If you must have something on your showroom walls, you can get some fine photographs of Dagenham. Enlarged copies of all the pictures you see in the printed matter sent out from Dagenham can be had for a few shillings.
Anyone would think I was running a picture gallery.
I shouldn't worry about that. Give people a picture in their mind's eye, and you'll soon have them wanting to see the real thing. Dagenham visits are worth a lot, too, in getting a fellow to think about Ford when he's considering buying a car.
Well, if we're going to make the place look like a drawing room, perhaps you'll tell me how to get rid of those.
There's only one way of doing that. Change the floor covering.
You seem to think I'm Andrew Carnegie.
Now, just a minute. I don't want you to spend a lot of money, but I think you'll agree the changes that I've suggested already will make a difference. Now, Armstrong at Haverstown showed me some stuff that he got hold of. Dirt cheap, too. It's a type of lino, but it's the color that's important. I'll get a sample from him for you.
Armstrong's got a good territory. He can afford to make improvements.
Why, isn't this a good one?
No, I don't think it is. People are moving out of this district. There's a lot of new development round here. It's taking away my best prospects.
Oh, why don't you follow them?
Take my showroom with me, I suppose.
Well, you could start a subsidiary showroom in one of the new districts.
A new showroom? Why, it's as much as I can do to look after this one.
I quite agree, but it's worth thinking over. Drop in on Armstrong. You know him, so why not? He's just started his 2nd place. Very nice, too. Worth taking a look at.
Very well. I'll drive out and see him. Hello, Armstrong.
Oh, hello.
Haven't seen you since the last convention.
No, Harding told me you'd probably drop in.
What are you up to?
I'm just looking after my literature stocks. This is a fine idea they have now. No need to have too much stuff and always up to date. They say it's saved a lot of money. It's certainly saved me a lot of worry. Come into the office. I figured it out this way. People are leaving the towns and going to live on housing estates just outside.
Yes, I found that at Netheridge.
The biggest one near me is Pine Hill. I drove out there a couple of times and found it was growing up into a self-contained town. That made me sit up, especially when I realized that a lot of the people out there would need cars to drive themselves to business.
But if they come in here to business, surely they could get their cars from you just the same.
That's what I thought. But I soon found out they didn't buy cars in business hours. You've got to catch a man when he's off duty. And that's why I decided to start a branch at Pine Hill. I keep open till 8 out there.
That must represent a pretty considerable investment.
It does, but it's paying for itself and a bit over. And what's more, I'm building up a darn good service business there. My new place at Lilytown looks like being a winner too. Look, I'll show you what I'm doing in the way of advertising.
Hello, Harding.
Well, you've certainly got a nice place here.
Not bad, eh?
I wish all the dealers had places like it. And how's business?
Always looking for more. I still need 25 more sales to make my contract.
And only 2 months to get them in. Too bad. Yes, you look half-starved.
Come into the office.
Going in for a bit of rebuilding?
No, I was thinking of putting up a little place out at Greenston. There's a good deal of development out there, and I thought I might grow up with it, so to speak.
I see. Branching out a bit, eh? That's the idea. I wish all the dealers had your initiative.
Oh, I haven't made up my mind yet. I want to see this place running itself smoothly first, but I've got more assistance now. The business can stand it.
Well, you look as if you're well on the way.
And you look as though you're well on your way to that lunch at the George. Come on.
Just a minute. First of all, I want to have a word with these fellas out here. Well, gentlemen, this is nearly the end of our film. Of course, I'm not a Ford man, really, but an actor playing a part, a sort of mouthpiece. Ford's idea in making this film was to help you by showing what can be done to pave the way to bigger and better business. Sometimes a man gets so used to seeing a thing every day that he doesn't notice it any longer. That's why Ford wants you to realize that your showroom is the heart of your business, and to ask yourselves whether you are making the most of it. First, you should advertise your premises so that people can find them easily. Remember, the Ford sign is known all the world over. Then you should make the premises themselves attractive and inviting. The goods which you have to sell should be displayed so that they will attract attention, and cared for so that they're always in perfect condition. Whenever possible, place your cars so that prospects can walk round and sit in them. You can't expect every person who walks into your showroom to purchase a car, but you can take steps to see that no prospect is lost through failure to follow up by a personal call or by mail. Remember, as a Ford dealer, you have the advantage of a range of cars and trucks which offers the best value obtainable in the motoring world. And it's up to you to make the little extra effort which means just the difference between a good dealer and a better dealer. Goodbye.